Monday, or I'll drop the podcast like Sunday.
Okay.
So there might be some like American content.
Yeah.
Something we did America, since it's America 250, we did 250 letters to America. So everybody, all the listeners sent in why they love America.
Oh, that's awesome.
So think about something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll just cut that up and we'll get that on the show. And,
Cool.
And like that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
it. All right.
Let's do it.
All right, how's it going? It's Slater, K923, one of my great friends that I don't know if I told really anybody this. So in October, when I was in the hospital, I was sick, everything else, you were one of the first people I saw on Instagram that post like, hey man, like thinking about you and like reaching out to me, and it means a lot.
Hey man, we all gotta
honestly.
look out for each other, buddy.
Like without a doubt. It was
I love
like,
you.
I had Olivia's here, my daughter, who
She's the
you can't see on the camera. She's the producer, and I was like so bummed out because I have her like every afternoon. We go do fun stuff, and I was like, I'm under the weather. I'm not gonna be able to see everything else. So seeing messages from like somebody that I consider family the last 10 years.
Yeah, man.
10 years on K923.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
So the first gig that I did as a part of the team, you were on.
That's right.
Which was Country Strong.
Yep.
For the Pulse nightclub, and it's crazy to think that that's 10 years.
A guy just posted that, and I saw, and I mentioned, I was like, can't believe that's 10 years ago, dude. It feels like it was, yesterday, just finding out that happened, and then I did an interview with you guys,
Yeah.
and then I kind of just said it in the interview, like, all of us here in Central Florida, we stick together in times of needs, I mean, with hurricanes and different things that happen here, you have to help your community, and that happened, and I think, within those situations, the message that we send out to people when we get together and go, no, not here. That doesn't happen here. Wrap our arms around the people. Dude, it happened so fast. I think that's the fastest arena show that's probably ever been booked.
Legitimately 9 days from when it happened to when Country Strong happened.
K92.
And
y'all freaking kicked it into gear, dude.
And it was great. Thinking back, your career, what year is the pivotal, like, say when you graduate, it's like the class of this year. Mm-hmm. For you, when everything was like boom.
Yeah.
Like,
man,
what did it feel like? Or do you have a couple of those years, big standouts?
I think a couple. The first one, I feel very blessed to say this. A lot of people, this doesn't always happen, but Kiss You in the Morning, really connected, and everybody got behind it. And it was like, nowadays, 26 weeks or 24 weeks is like, you don't hear it. So that was my first single, shot to number one, so it was just, that was kind of like the whirlwind moment, because I was also on radio tour, and I was on tour with, who were we out with at that time? I think we were on tour with Sam Hunt, we did, and then I think we did Brantley after, so it was just like that whole year was pretty crazy, but then it's like, also we're touring all these guys that I listened to, I grew up listening to Brantley out here, and we'd all burn CDs of him and Cole Ford, and all that stuff back in the day.
Was there somebody that was like the most nerve-wracking, like, where you met them, you're like, man, I totally screwed that up because you're nervous, like way back when you're like, I can't believe this moment.
Anne Hathaway at the Ellen show, yeah.
Are her eyes as big as they look on TV?
Well, so I grew up with all sisters, so I've seen Princess Diaries and all this stuff, right? Well, my publicist, somebody recently, anyway, they set up a meeting for us in the hallway backstage of Ellen, right? Yeah. And Anne comes out super nice, and like compliments Think a Little Less, right? And then in my mind, I was like, I must compliment her back.
Right.
Well, the only movie I can think of is Princess Diaries.
Nice.
And I was like, I watched Princess Diaries. It got kind of awkward. Sure. I was like, you want to take that picture now? So I think that was like the one awkward one.
It's not a competition, but I might have you beat. So you remember the comedian Sinbad?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he came through. And I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. And I did the same thing where I couldn't think of anything. Yeah. I go, man, House Guest was great. And he's like, huh? And I go, House Guest. And he's like, and I had to tell him, I'm like, like Phil Hartman. He's like, you couldn't think of like a worse movie. I'm like, I could. Jingle All the Way came into my head too, and I didn't say that.
Oh yeah, what was the action figure on that?
That Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But it's like the entire time. So the picture, still to this day, I look back and I'm like, that memory hits.
It's like Sinbad's living rent-free in your head. Like, what if you're living rent-free in Sinbad's? He's like,
that's you know what? That could be.
Yeah.
It could be
that's
nowadays.
A success if you ask me, dude.
Without question. And I love also the fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, since we're like talking about things that happened, didn't you use K923, the listeners, in a music video that you shot?
I did.
Or was that a dream?
No, man. No, we shot it actually right down here.
Was it Kiss You
in the Morning? Yeah,
okay, it
yeah.
was.
So being from down here, and I mean, I'm a multi-generations from Eustis, right around this area. And, a lot of my family still lives on the same land that all of us grew up on. So my family had a band, and then when I started coming up, man, everybody just really wrapped their arms around me. The other artists that were playing bars around here, like, helped get me gigs, you know, and that was, you know, they really helped me out a lot. So when we decided we wanted to do like a party video, we couldn't think what it was, and I was like, man, I want to shoot my first music video back where everybody helped me, you know, and then shine light on everybody. We all did this together, you know. It's not a one-man show. My name might be up there in my picture, but like, it takes a lot of people, you know. And so this community is my home, you know, and I take it with me everywhere, and I'm proud to be from here. And so with everybody, like I said, that helped me out, and we just sent out a Facebook thing and was like, hey, we need extras. And the guy that was, the dude that was directing it was his first country video. And so he was like freaking out about like, hey man, I need to hire extras. And I'm like, you won't need to, I promise you. And then he gets here and he's like, bro, I don't even know what to do with all these people. I'm like, I told you, dude, we'll be fine. So we hired a couple actors, but yeah, everybody else was from right here.
It's good that you had that conversation because, I mean, imagine you look out and you're like, are those girls from Rachel's?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? You're like, at least bring a couple steaks if you're going to bring the girls out. So, a completely different situation.
Yeah.
And as far as music videos go now, I think the last time I talked to you was All-Star Jam. Before that, you were at SeaWorld. New music into the new year.
Yep.
Anything that you're excited about? Like, do you know a hit is a hit when you hear it the first time? If there's a demo that gets sent in, and you're like, yeah, that's definitely one that I like.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I can. At least I can be like, that feels like a hit to me. You know, I mean, it's always in the fans' hands of what connects.
Yeah.
You know, and. So, you know, sometimes it's a song you didn't think would connect, and all of a sudden that happens. But yeah, man, I feel like after you've done this a while, and you know, we've had number ones, we've had top 10s, I've had songs that died in the 20s, you know, so 30s. So it's like you kind of start knowing kind of what works. You start knowing your fan base better. You also start, you know, your sound starts growing. You start knowing yourself better as an artist and as a person. You grow. So I feel like, yeah, man, I feel like anything like Whiskey and Rain, for instance, like that one, I felt right. I was like, if this isn't a massive hit, then I don't know what one is, because it was like, it had that signature lick to it. You know, I had the little things that for me I look for when I'm writing or when I'm listening to songs. So that one felt like right out of the box. I was like, this feels like a monster if we do this right. So
and I guess the last thing that I'm really thinking of before we get into the 4th of July talk, with so many people opening up bars in Nashville, and with your ties to Eustis, have you thought about, if not Nashville, doing something actually here local that Central Florida can literally sink their teeth into?
Yeah, man, I've actually thought about that. It'll be probably, you know, it'd have to be a few years down the road. We still got a lot of touring and a lot of music to make, but it would definitely be something that I would like to do down here at some point.
Is there a type of food that you would like in there?
Man, there ain't nothing better. We ate at Genie's down the road today.
Yeah.
That's our. I took all the boys down there. We've been eating there since I was your daughter's age, you know, or probably younger. You know, good country cooking, dude. You just can't, you know, or a good sports bar food. You know, maybe Eustis needs a solid sports bar down here. They got a few good bars, Crazy Gator, you know, different places. Add on to it, maybe, you know, it's something maybe later on in the future. Nothing soon, but it would be cool to have something here.
Yeah.
I thought about opening a diner though too, like a restaurant. I got this idea I've always sat on. You know, after my grandmother and my great grandmother passed away, you know, you don't always. My sisters and my aunts, and they all do a great job at cooking all those dishes during the holidays that your grandma. You have to have that only your grandmother or some elderly in your family made. But after they passed, I was like, man, there's so much good food that they made, and my family members have some of their recipes. So I was like, that could be cool, maybe.
Would you hire family to do it? Are they early birds where they could actually do like
a couple
like
of
breakfast
them,
dinner? Or they would just stay up all night.
Yeah, they would just probably stay up all night.
And that would be like the tail end of their day.
It'd be more financially stable if I opened a diner, though. If I had a bar, then that might be a little.
Really, you flip it in
there.
And the last thing with American 250, so we had the K923 listeners talked about how they used our open mic on the app, which was really cool. A couple of people even like sang songs.
Oh, nice.
You know, and of course, since I'm such a tough judge, there was a woman that came and she sang, and I'm like, you know, not like Carrie Underwood, more like Carrie Underwear, but like we get it. We get she tried.
Hey, it's for the country.
If there's 3 things that you've come across in your career and traveling around that you love about America, whether it's stuff that's here or whatever, what would that be?
Man,
what makes America great to Michael Ray?
One, I think the fact that we get the chance to pursue happiness, you know, because men and women lace those boots up and put it all on the line. You know, there's no other country where you're having the stories that we have of people that came from nothing or you know, stumbled and finally regather their life together, become something of themselves, or they can chase a dream. You know, like, you know, we get that opportunity because of our military and the people that, you know, fight to save, you know, the future for her to be able to go do whatever she wants, you know, and chase dreams. So that's always something I've always been grateful for. I'm grateful that I've traveled all over this great country, man, and stop watching the news. Like, dude, people come look at this. I mean, out here tonight, you know, no one's sitting next to somebody wondering who they're voting for or whatever. You know, all this stuff that's happening. It's like, dude, when you go out, especially in rural America, you go out to Oklahoma, you come here to Eustis, Florida, you go wherever, even if you go, you know, where New York, you go all over this country. People are more united than they're showing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you see things that you go, well, the news is saying that.
Right.
Technically, you two hate each other, you know, and then that's not the case, you know, and you see that unity a lot, and that pride in America at these type of events or at country festivals. People on shoulders, dude, they're arms around each other, American flags up, you know. So that's something that when I look around, I'm like, okay, cut the news off for a lot, you know.
I'm in the media. It's like
I mean, like, you know, the worldly news is just on a loop all the time, you know.
We and my favorite thing is, you know, don't worry about if you're red, blue. Think about the 3 colors that make us. You know, like the World Cup in particular. You look at that in the melting pot of everybody that's there, and then the people that are cheering for it. A lot of them not even soccer fans.
Yeah,
they're just there, and they're like, "This is a really big, cool thing."
Yeah, I have my buses, soccer fans for about 3 more weeks, and then they'll never talk about it again.
That's fine, you know.
But my favorite part of it was watching people come here for the first time from other countries.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, I think that was such a cool moment, and I think it's a good reminder for us, because it's like when you live in your house, all of a sudden the newness wears off. You know, it's a house, you know, whatever. But if somebody comes over, you go, "Oh my God, did you get this?
Yeah.
We don't have this." You know, it reminds you like, "Oh yeah, dude, that's cool." You know, and I think like in this time where it's just so heated everywhere, we needed that reminder of people coming over here going, "Oh my God, you got this, y'all got this." There are people taking videos in gas stations, you know, and not like a Buc-ee's, you know, just a regular gas station.
When Waffle House, they refer to it as breakfast hibachi.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great time.
Yeah,
you know?
So I love watching that. I just think that it came at a good time for where we're at, you know. So, but man, overall, dude, I see that, you know, hard work, chasing dreams, being a good person, and just being proud of where you come from. You know, you don't have to agree with everything. Not everywhere's perfect, but I'd much rather be over here than anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you, buddy.
Hey, buddy, thank you, man, always.
As it goes, until we see each other again, I hope the family is all healthy, safe, and it's always a trip whenever I get a chance to see you and the family. And they're like, "Hey, do you remember like 10 years ago when you started, the people that just called nonstop, like Slater Michael Ray, and like you felt like they were pranking you? That was us."
Yeah, that was
and
Bobby.
I'm like, "Oh yeah,
that's buddy Bobby."
Like without question. But hey, you need those people.
That's right.
You know, like
I told him, I was like, "Man, I'll see if, you know," at the time I was signed to Warner, I was like, "Man, I can see if Warner's hiring for a radio rep." I don't know. Oh my God, I might need to get Bobby a plaque for Whiskey and Rain.
At least. At least. So, hey,
I
thank you so much,
appreciate you,
brother.
man. Love you, man.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Michael Ray on the bus. And America, we love you so very much.
Happy 4th.